Hi y'all, it's Ruby and I'm back. A lot of you will remember me from my show Ruby that was on the Style Network. It was a hit show for 4 seasons. But I'm here to tell y'all some great news. We are producing a new show called The Ruby Show. And I'm so excited for y'all to be a part of this. We go into the spiritual, the mental, the physical, the emotional. You will cry, you will laugh. It is going to be so amazing. I am here to let y'all in on some of the things that you will see on The Ruby Show. One of the things that everybody wants to know is what we are doing since The Ruby Show. And the first thing I want to tell y'all what I've been doing since The Ruby Show, I'm still fat, unfortunately. Yes. I have gained and lost weight, but I am on this I know, it is good. They're fat too now. Look at all of them.
They don't know.
You know what? Little fat people. Yeah. I told you to zip it. But little fat people can't take that.
Straight, everybody.
Yeah, suck it in.
See, they're so paranoid. I mean, I'm all right about telling my way.
Adonis.
That's why they call it the COVID-29.
But they have literally gained weight. And, you know, and I feel bad for them because this is their first time ever gaining weight. Now they know what it's like for Ruby. Because is it not the hardest thing to lose weight?
Pregnancy doesn't count, Georgia.
Yes, it does. But she got as big as she got. She got really big at pregnancy.
Are you
I think
insulting both her and me, Jeff?
Yes. But no, seriously.
Yeah,
do y'all not find it since COVID? I mean, y'all want to tell me what y'all weigh?
Oh, what?
Can we tell what?
Is that not crazy?
No.
Yes. Okay. That's fine. I'm just asking.
We don't do numbers.
But they have gained weight. I said combined with all of them, they've gained probably 100. Would I be right? Jim, I think Jim is really in denial about his weight gain. Very much in denial. We might need to do an intervention with this.
We can do it. We've done it before.
No.
So part of the show is going to show y'all Cooking with Ruby, where I have people come in. My best friend Gigi, Moomaw from Hunter Cattle, and other chefs are going to be coming in teaching me and you how to eat healthy, the right way to eat. And plus, it's fast, y'all, and I can't believe how much I've learned this far. So, and I promise you, it is yummy.
We are going to crack the eggs. Do you want to crack these, Ruby?
I don't get my hands dirty.
Of course you don't.
You want me to crack them? I'll crack them. I already chopped all these.
Yeah, right. So come over here, crack those for me.
What if you get shells in them?
You don't. You won't. That's why you have that shell bowl. All right, while you're doing that, we're going to talk about cutting up some food here. So anyway, when you're making eggs, quiches, you can put anything in it you want. A lot of times you can just clean out your refrigerator if you have leftover meat, if you have leftover vegetables from the night before, great. If not, you can just do all fresh. What we're doing today is we're going to be doing some sausage.
So y'all, once we get you eating right, the next thing is we're going to get you Ruby size. Oh yeah, baby. That's my song.
Oh, now. You know you got everybody looking.
That's right, baby. I got everybody looking. So many of us struggle with daily issues like mental illness, anxiety, depression, addictions, suicide. We've lost someone to suicide, or even grief we deal with. And with our family members it's harder on us sometimes when your family members are actually going through this. So we're going to be dealing with this and discussing how to cope with that, how to handle situations like that. I want to show you that you don't just have to cope with these issues. You can be victorious through Jesus Christ. Now watch some segments of us talking about some heavy issues.
I do believe that you showing up, coming back out in public and saying, listen, you guys, I'm still working on this, is the opposite of failure. Because failure would have given up a long time ago and said, I'm going to put the mask back on, I'm going to put the my sunglasses back on and the cap back on.
I made that fast food.
I'm not ever going to try again.
But I want to beat this so bad that I can imagine what it's going to feel like. Sometimes I climb the highest mountain and go, oh my gosh, I did it. I really did it. I really did this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I conquered the biggest battle in the world to me. First of all, I want to say she's an incredible, incredible mom. She really is, and I want you to know that. But it is hard for anyone that has a child that has Asperger's or autism or mentally challenged at all, because there comes, you feel blame, you feel guilty, you feel like you're not doing enough, you don't know what to do, and there's not enough information out there for people. Even when my mom had John, she knew something was wrong with him because he couldn't even suck a bottle. I mean, and she knew, but doctors kept telling her, nothing's wrong with him. But my mother was wise enough to know something was wrong with him.
Know when something's wrong with your baby.
And just like Georgia knew something was not right with Zach. And I'm going to let Georgia tell you this part. I hate the fact that we all are going to die one day. I sometimes think about them. I think about which one of us is going to die for the other. We've talked about it. That's because we've been together forever. And I can't imagine one of us without the other. And I do. I think about that sometimes and pray that we all go together. Yeah. I really do.
Well,
shut up. You always want to get there fast. It's so stupid. So, I mean, I want to live the rest of my life what God has literally wants me to do, and I want to live my purpose, that when I get to heaven, the biggest thing I want is God to say to me, you did exactly what you were born to do.
Well done.
Well done.
And that will make me the happiest person in the world. And I want to see that before he even takes me anywhere.
Of course.
But I think Jeff just wants to go now. He always says, I just wish God would come today. I said, shut up.
No, it's just, I don't fear death in the sense of just because I know where I'm going and I've got so much peace with that. But, you know, separation's different. I mean, you know, you're going to be separated from your family, you know, all that type of thing. But, I mean, I won't know, but they'll know.
Yeah.
And that's the, you know, the sadness of it. But, yeah, you're right. Everyone deals with grief differently. I've lost a 17-year-old niece and a 3-year-old nephew to cancer. Yeah. And two separate brothers with two rare cancers that, you know.
In a year apart.
Yeah, within a year.
Not your brothers, but their children.
Yeah, their children.
Right.
And it was his 3-year-old.
Yeah, my 3-year-old nephew, one brother, and my 17-year-old
And you never
niece.
hear about a young girl getting ovarian cancer. Yeah. It was so odd.
Ovarian cancer at the age of 16. So, yeah, then...
difficult for you?
Like, things that I just don't understand are just how not to, I'm trying to find the right words. How to handle, how to solve the issue that's been thrown at me. You know, trying to think of the right words, especially on the spots. You know, there are times where I've been called out on spot and asked about certain things or talked about things, and I either can't answer the question or I just can't find the right argument to what people are trying to say to me. Like, I'm just standing there like a statue.
Yeah. Right
there, just like I want to say something, but sometimes I just can't for some reason because my brain goes haywire in one direction and to another. It can be a tad difficult.
Yeah.
Like this, I feel really strange. Like my chest feels heavy, my voice feels strained, and my arms feel like they're weighed down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm getting that feeling right now too. It usually...
There's going to be a part of the show that's called Ruby's Journal, and that's when I am very raw. I am on my phone videoing me, telling you what I feel, what I'm going through, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because when you're on a journey like this, you are going through so much, and every part of this needs to come together. If we don't deal with the root of the problem, if we don't deal with the spiritual part of this, the emotional part of this, the mental part of this, then we're never going to get healthy the right way. So once we deal with all four of those, we are on the road to freedom. So here are a couple of Ruby journals for y'all to look at. Hi y'all, it's me, Ruby. You know, I want to talk to y'all about motivation today. First of all, I know how hard it is to stay motivated, especially when you're dealing with an addiction, when you're dealing with family problems, when you're dealing with anything, diseases, how to overcome and how to stay motivated when it looks like nothing in your life is changing at all. It's very hard for people who have been physically, verbally, and sexually abused. It's hard for people who have gone through a lot of difficult times, and especially struggling with something like addiction is the hardest thing. And I know about that because I used to be over 750 pounds for those who do not know. And I've lost over 450 pounds, but unfortunately, because of setbacks, I've gained 60 back to 80 back to 100 back, but lost it again. So now I gained 80 back because of deaths in the family. I'm not trying to make excuses, but trying to tell you why I go to this substance of choice for myself. We have stories, we've done wrong. We don't even know we've done wrong. Sometimes the wrong that we've done has been very innocent. And that's why I always pray to God. I say, God, forgive me for doing this, the things that I know that I've done. And then I'll say, God, please forgive me for the things I don't even know I've done. Or if I've hurt someone, I did not mean to hurt someone. And if I've ever hurt y'all in any way, I am so sorry. Would you say one of the most embarrassing moments that has been for me and you?
One?
I know there's been so many. I can't even name one embarrassing moment. We've had so many embarrassing moments because of the big girl. And yes, I'm talking about me, because I'm not big no more.
I know one.
I thought he would say something about that.
One, when you and Denny and I were going into that little Chinese restaurant.
Oh my gosh. I'm saying, man, you tell the story. I could have killed them. Just listen.
Okay, so we go in and we sit down like normal, and
Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, and we're sitting there. Denny and I are on one side, Ruby on the other, and all of a sudden we're looking at her, and she starts seems like she's going backwards like in slow motion, and she just like going, and we're like, what is? And she starts going, help me, and we're looking at her like, what?
That was okay. Yes. But I'm sitting in the chair, and Jeff and Denny's looking at me, okay? And we're saying, what do you want to eat? We're at a Chinese restaurant in LA, and all of a sudden, my chair, they had one of those bendable chairs, starts spinning.
It's shaped like an S, and it's aluminum. So there's no support like on the butt part.
And this is 600-pound Ruby, and I'm like going, and I feel it going down. I'm like, is that my imagination?
And it was so slow
and I
that
look at Jeff, and
Denny and I were kind of looking like, what is she doing?
And it was going down slower and slower, and I'm looking at them like, really? Like, they're not helping me. And then this little, okay, you know how Chinese people are. They're this big. They're big as my pinky. Are they not? That's
this
Chinese
little
people.
Lady, like the ogre,
starts helping me, and I finally had to
runs over
would
to
you
try
help
to
me?
catch Ruby falling backwards when by the time we realized what's going on.
It registered in their head. Oh my God. Literally.
Restaurant was full of people.
Yes. You know how Sunset is. And I was like so humidified, I could have died. But literally, almost on the floor, and this Chinese woman is on her knees trying to catch a 600-pound person. Finally, Jeff and Denny gets up and starts pulling me up, and I was like, let's go now. I'm humidified. But we did not go. We found the booth and stayed to eat.
Of course we stayed to eat.
We're so fat. What do you really love to eat? Not what is feeding you and your emotions, or what's feeding your loneliness, but foods that you love to eat, because we shouldn't be eating it's like a drug. You take a drug for a reason. You're taking a drug because you're drugging up a feeling, or you don't feel like you're worth anything, and you want to be numb for the moment. You don't even want to think about anything. You just don't want to think. You don't want to know you exist. You don't want to know you're here. You just don't want to feel anything. And so that's why people take drugs. And the only reason I know this is I've talked to many people that have taken it. People that drink. You drink and you drink because you're like, it makes you feel so much better. You numb the feelings. You don't want to feel your feelings. You don't want to feel it. But y'all, you got to feel your feelings. You've got to feel them. Because the more you ignore your feelings, the more they take over you and they will consume you. It stops you from living the life you were born to live. It stops you from getting to your dreams, your destiny. It stops you from doing anything, from living your God's purpose. I believe that we were born for a purpose. That's my own personal belief. I will not put that on y'all, but that's my own personal belief. I believe that I was born in this generation for a reason. And I believe y'all were too. And I do believe that we need to complete it. And I feel like the very thing that burns inside of you, that thing that you cannot let go of, it just burns in your heart. That's your passion. Go after that passion, what makes you happy. Go after the things that you love to do and help somebody else. You know, when you're going through things like this, help somebody else. There are so many hurting people out there that you can literally be their lifeline. You're going to be so surprised at some of the stuff we're about to show y'all. I actually go out there and play football with my boys from the farm. I love those kids. Me and Kristen and Georgia, we're the girls playing, and we rule. That's all I got to say. We are the rulers of the football game. Now, what I'm doing, I've lost 74 pounds since July. 74 pounds, y'all. Hooty, hooty, hoot. So I cannot wait to get where I was. And once I get where I was, then I'm going to have 100, and I think it's 40 pounds to lose until I reach my goal. Can you believe it? A girl that came from 750 pounds, over 750 pounds, honestly. On the Ruby Show, you will see segments for some of the retreats where the people share their stories, and some of them are so heartbreaking, but the great news is they admit things for the first time. They open up and they tell what's happened to them and the secrets that they have lived with, and the healing that begins and the freedom. I cannot even explain to you. It's phenomenal. It is God orchestrated. Don't let Satan bring him back up. Don't let him shame you. Don't let him haunt you. God's ready for you to do your healing. He doesn't want to keep taking Ruby to the little shed either.
My past used to haunt me continuously. I could not let go of my past mistakes no matter how hard I tried.
What keeps you from moving forward, from taking the next steps towards your dreams, hopes, goals, and God's purpose? Having faith in myself.
What's the worst thing that has ever happened to you? When I was betrayed by members of a church, not once but twice in 2 different churches. Being used as a scapegoat by a church leader when I was on staff and being judged for my appearance. Both situations caused me to leave the church altogether for several years.
3, I was raped from age 3.5 to 10 by a relative, and nothing was ever done to him.
It is not my fault!
Say it again.
It is not my fault!
90 days and committing to God.
Yes.
Y'all remember, we buried him here, no longer to be brought back up. Everybody say goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever.
Forever.
For my sweet sister, it's gone.
This is my 3rd Ruby retreat, and I love it.
And I'm from Lima, Ohio. This is my 7th Ruby retreat.
I am from Cleveland, Tennessee, and this is, I guess, my 7th retreat, too.
This is my first Ruby retreat.
I have been coming to every retreat since the very first one. We learn about cooking. We definitely exercise, we have group sessions, and we learn a lot about ourselves and our journeys, and that we're not alone. And that we talk about how to encourage ourselves and what our purpose is, and that we have meaning, and like God has a purpose for us. And we learn a lot about ourselves and how to take care of ourselves and put ourselves first.
I came to learn more about working out. I am on a weight loss journey, and she just makes it a lot easier for me, so it's awesome.
She brought together a group of people that really are going through the same challenges that we've had in our past, and it's really amazing to see all of these people come together, and within minutes you're family, and you have I met Beth at the first retreat, and we've been friends ever since.
Was very intimidated to come for a long time, and as soon as I got here, everyone was so welcoming and just hugging all over you, and it's crazy how we're just one day in and there's like a sisterhood that's forming. It's really cool.
So I signed up for the first retreat. It was at a camp in Tennessee, I think it was, and I've been coming ever since.
I hope y'all come to the Ruby retreats, because I'm trying to make, a Ruby retreat center for people to come to it, because I think it's so important that we have those, because I've seen lives change at these Ruby retreats. I've seen people make friends for life. I've seen people get healings, and I mean, where they are like, their deepest, darkest secrets they're able to admit, and there's no judgment here, there's only love here.
I have never really saw myself in a positive light, and just seeing yourself through Ruby's eyes helps you see that you really are important. You serve a purpose. You are important to her. You are important.
There's an instant connection, like you feel like you've known her forever the minute you meet her.
I cannot imagine my life without her.
Ruby Gives Hope is a nonprofit organization. It's a place where y'all can donate and help so many people that cannot afford to come, that need it to come for healing, for freedom, and overcome, and find Jesus and find freedom in God, and realize that their worth is so much, and they can see themselves through God's eyes, not the ghosts in their past or the people that have hurt them, but actually know that people love and care about them. For more information on The Ruby Show, you can go to rubygettinger.com, or you can go to farmdaysproductions.com.
Do you remember the songs that we sang? We'd jump in that truck, then we'd ride far away. One tap on that window, away we would go, laughing the night away in tears. Those were the best of all my years.